What is up, everybody? Got another video for you, and this one there's nothing actually new in this one, but you've seen all these knives before in videos I've done on overviews of them. But here is the cut test. We finally got into it. I wanted to kind of show you how I display the knives too. This is one of the display cases I have. You can see here there's a little chrome lock hinge on it. Nice little hard surface contouring here. I believe it's a kind of a compressed or condensed cardboard material on the edges here. And what I'll do is I'll put a link in the information at the bottom of the video on where you can get these cases done, mainly because it was kind of hard to find knife cases. I have an extremely large one that I got from, I believe it was USA Displays someplace, and it's good, but it was just too big. I wanted something that was more of, like a, you can see I collect watches. I have some videos early on about those, but I wanted some cases that were like that, a nice little piece I could put on the dresser, on the armoire, easy access to the knives. We don't have any kids or anything like that, so there's no worried about, anybody getting at these in a dangerous scenario. So I keep them in a safer room in the house upstairs, not where any, there's foot traffic or something like that. But it's a really nice display case, I thought, and there's a couple different sizes and everything, but I'll put the link below to the site. It's a direct from the manufacturer company, and it's really cool. I like it a lot. The foam here has several different layers and colors, so you can have a different color velvet piece over underneath them if you want, like red or green or black. And then it comes with foam inserts that are under here that you can actually build up to raise the knife so they're almost pressed against the glass if you wanted to put it against the wall or something. But anyways, enough about the case. We're going to do the cut test, and these are all the knives that I got over the last couple weeks that are the production knives that are based off of well-known custom maker designs. We have the Nerk Tii, which is the combination between Klecker and Brian Tii. We have the Boker Federal, which is the GTC design. We have the 801 ZT, which is based on the Todd Rexford design. We have the ZT0561, which is based on the Hinderer design. We have the Microtech Doc Death on Contact with the bead blast finish, and that's based on the Mick Strider and the Anthony Marfione design, obviously. And then lastly, we have the ZT0600, which is based on the RJ Martin design. And we're going to see how these cut. It's actually interesting. I mean, I put these in the case based on just size. I just thought it would be cool to go from largest to smallest. But it actually works out that it's most expensive to least expensive too. So we'll get to see how these cut, just basing this video on just cutting alone, beyond anything else, aesthetics, feel, flipping ability, all that kind of stuff. But just to give you an idea on that. And then eventually, hopefully I'll get to that video about all the pocket clips and how they carry and feel and what's the most comfortable, what's the easiest to get out, to put in, all that kind of stuff. So let's get to this. We will start with the Nerk Tii 2. This is the smaller version. And we're going to cut two things today. We're going to cut copy paper, your regular 8x11.5 copy paper, and then we're also going to cut what I like to try out on is catalog paper. I think it's almost more difficult to cut than phone book paper because of the material and everything on it. So we will pull that out here. And I'm going to fan this out just a little bit. Back it up a little bit. And I haven't really done any of the practicing with these, so we're going to go right through them. This is a thinner blade, just so you guys can see on that. Focus. There we go. So. Not bad. A slight recurve on this. Just push cutting through it. Oh, pretty good. I'll try a puncture. We'll try cutting with the very top edge of the blade. Not bad. Right here on the inside, I think I started a little too far in, right where it's dulled just a touch by the end here. But overall, it's a thin blade, so it should cut pretty well just based on that. You don't have to worry about the thickness like some of the other thicker blades out there. But I liked it, Let's see. Do a nice slice cut. Yeah, I mean that's pretty smooth. So, and this is the Os 8 steel that's on this, so probably the least expensive, or I guess what you would call lowest end steel out of all the knives that are here. Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't even get to the other paper. All right, so here's the catalog paper. And you can see how flimsy this stuff is. You know, I mean, it's hard to even hold it so it stays straight. It just wants to bend and flop all over the place. So I still like this lockback flipper. It's cool. So we'll try and get this here. It's sticking a little bit, and also the paper just kind of tears from the weight of the blade. Let's see. Yeah, it starts and then it starts to tear a little bit. There might be a little catch in there, because the end was working pretty well. Let's start with the end here. You know, go with the razor kind of cutting. Look at that, just, you want to catch it. Alright, let's try over here. There we go. And obviously this is going against the grain at that part. Alright, get this out of here. Well, let's try working on a little small piece and see how we can do. Not bad. Stuff is so flimsy. And let's just try one more on here with a nice quick cut on it. All right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, not bad, not ridiculously Rockstead sharp or anything, but you're once again looking at like a $70–$80 knife here. So making a mess with all this paper. Where did my wipe go? Here we go, wipe this off. Get this pulp paper dust off of here. Oh my gosh, we're at 7 minutes, we've done one knife. All right, I'm gonna try to fly through these for you guys. So here we got the Boker Federal. Check that out for you. Go back to the copy paper. Oh yeah, I mean this thing is hefty. You feel the weight in your hand right off the bat. That was pretty much a push cut right there. Try a nice little slice. And this is the 440C steel on this one. Try going straight down. You can see at that point it's getting to the thickest part of the blade. Might have held it up a little bit there. Let's try some quick cuts. This is obviously against the grain. It's definitely catching in there. Got paper all over the place here. Let's get a fresh sheet. Fresh sheet with a nice slice. Yeah, it goes right in there. Not bad. Piercing. I'll try piercing that. Right at the end, just because of the thickness of the blade. Alright, so we'll get yeah, it definitely bites a little bit in certain places. So we'll get to catalog paper, and these are all factory edge. I haven't done anything to them, I haven't sharpened them, anything like that. This is just factory edge on these here. Having a little trouble with this one. Let's see if we start at the top here, if that helps. Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty thick right at the bottom here. Let's see if this will help if we start on this side. Sorry guys, I'm not giving a lot of talking. I'm trying to, kind of feel it out myself on here. Ugh. Rough. Oh, that's a little better. There you go. So the quick slicer cut works a little better. Let's see if we just puncture it, how much we can tear around in here. Well, that's not bad. See a little catch there. Right when it's coming down on the drop point of it. This does catch a little bit of biting in this. And this was obviously produced in China. I think the look and feel of this is great, but you can see this one, the Nerk Tii did a little better than the Boker on here, and even on the copy paper. I think at least when you do a quick slash with this, it works pretty well. But you can, pick up that there are some bite areas in it, and really, to get it started on this, it's pretty difficult. Interesting. Let me get some of these smaller pieces off of here. All right, so that's the Boker Federal. Sorry I'm bumping the camera a little bit. I'm trying to maneuver in this space we got going on. So here, get that out here, the 801. We got enough paper left on here I think we can use. ZT. Yeah, that was pretty smooth. Look at that. Factory edge. Push cut right down. See against the grain up here. Not bad. All right. So that's the copy paper. Now on to the hard stuff. Yeah, we don't really have much of that left. We're running out of these catalog sheets because they just fall apart. You know what? Here we go. This is the straight edge area of the paper. Look at that. It just wants to tear. Looks like the Nerk Tii has been doing the best on this material. Just trying to saw it. Well, you got the quick slashes, but you can't really. Well, we got a little push cut there. It's hard to get a bite on it, or not a bite, but hard to get a grip. Get a nice sink into there. Well, that's pretty good. You bet. I think we got like a baseball percentage going on here. I think we're hitting around maybe 300 or so, 3 out of every 10 times. I got some little pieces around here. So this wasn't that bad. I don't think it worked as good as this. The blade is a little bit thicker. This is obviously, the Nerk Tii is the thinnest blade, but that shouldn't have everything to do with it. I mean, it also depends on how well it was cut, grinded, the angles and everything. but you can see on the copy paper there was no problem. Get that out of here. But this catalog paper is pretty difficult. Let's just do a Pearson flow. Oh, see, look at that. I mean, actually rotated around on it. And if you put it at a slight cut, but you can't really do much diagramming with it. Alright, well that's done. Alright. I'm going to wipe this off real quick. Alright. On to the trusty 0561. I'm getting particle papers in my cool case now. Ticking me off. I should have taken this case out of the way. Too late now. On to the next stuff. Alright. Slice. Little pieces there. Little push cut. Pretty good push cut there. I'll try going to the top of the drop point. Oh, come on. It almost seems the belly here cuts a little bit better than the very top of it, but once it started here, this pulls through pretty well. At least that's how it's feeling when I'm cutting it. Get all this out of here. Oh my gosh, disaster going on. Alright, another piece of, well, you know what? We have a little piece here. Oh, that wasn't too bad. The little bit we got going on. And one of the things is obviously with the 0561, that's when ZT was doing the LMAX for the first time, and people were saying the edge wouldn't retain that well. So, not that we've really done much with this, but it seemed to cut through that catalog paper a little easier than the Boker did after cutting all the copy paper. I'm telling you guys, you gotta get some catalog paper and see how easy it is to cut with, because this stuff does not want to do anything. Well, we got something going there. Let's try this. There we go. So not too bad now. We're actually, this is you know, sliding in fine. Let's see if we can do any design work on here. Well, that's probably been the best at that so far. Not that that's the best thing to say, but look at this stuff. I mean, look how it just folds over when we put any kind of weight on it. Well, I think this actually, whatever the grind on here or anything, slid through a little bit better than the 801. At least on the catalog stuff. I'd say on the copy paper, they're probably adequate. Let's see on these, any difference as far as thickness goes. They look very similar as far as thickness. I mean, you have the longer blade, so you can ride it longer. I mean, that might be an issue with it as far as like when I was cutting. And I'm not the most amazing cutter out there, but just to give you an idea on that. So those are out of the way. On to the DOC. All right. Big belly on this guy. Very smooth. Microtech's known for being very sharp out of the box. Wow. And I'm actually getting it right down to here, and that's where it's stopping, just kind of getting that low where the blade's running out, but just because it feels so nice. Ooh, I like that. That's nice. That feels sleek, like there's nothing there. Wow, that's piercing. Look, I just touch it, and you can see, I mean, it's right through, just touching it. Yeah, that's very nice. Let's get this thing going on the catalog paper and see how we hold up. Sorry, this stuff is just bugging me. These little pieces here. All right. So, uh-oh, this is our last piece of catalog paper. I'll try not to dice this one up too much before we get to the RJ. But I'm very impressed with this. Wow. I mean, that just the feel of it. I know it's hard to come across on video, but there was just nothing. I mean, this thing just went through it. Hot knife through butter. Perfect analogy right there. Knife, paper was the butter. Wow. Guys, this, I mean, I don't know what you think about aesthetics or, you know, obviously Apocalypse is a big deal or whatever, but Microtech, man, that is a nice grind, nice blade on here. I mean, that was just the easiest one I've done so far out of any of these, and you can even see the thickness difference between these two. Microtech obviously being thicker, not ridiculously thick, but it actually widens out, you know, through the middle of the blade. All right, so let's do a little bit more and see what. That was just ridiculously way more easy than any of the other ones I've done so far. Wow. Jeez. See if we can even put, we haven't really been able to do a push cut on anything yet. Look at that. That's impressive. I am really impressed out of all these how well this was done. Obviously this is the second most expensive of all these. This is LMAX, so it's the same steel as here and here, but they've just really been able to get a much better edge on this. Even against the grain, I can feel it much better. Look at that. Let's just do some quick slices. And then we'll just try to do some design work. Okay guys, I mean, hands down, this thing has just destroyed all these other knives as far as cutting the catalog paper. That's just my experience here, and maybe don't have the best technique, but you know, for a novice person handling cutting things, this thing just destroyed those two tests. All right, so we'll try this last one out. I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to how that just performed. We need one more piece of catalog paper. See if I can rip one out real quick for you. Sorry, the video's already gotten way too long. All right, so that's that. So, copy paper. Still have pieces in here. Get that out of here. And I don't know how well this has been focusing or not for you guys. I've just been trying to cut stuff to show you that. I know the background maybe isn't the best. So the RJ Martin ZT0600. Recurved blade on here. This is the second thickest knife here. This one is 0.2. This is 0.19. So it is a pretty thick blade. That's the longest blade too. Against the grain, not the best. With the grain, pretty smooth. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good right there. Not bad. All right. And I might say it wrong when I kind of go over and say which one I thought was the best to worst as far as ranking these as cutting. And not that that's really the best, not that this cut test really is the best anyways. I mean, who cares about really cutting paper to begin with? If you really had to cut open a box or anything, any of these are going to get into it and cut it. But I think we have it ranked pretty well as far as what to what. All right, so the R.J. Martin 0600 on catalog paper. No. And this steel is the B75P, just so you guys know, which my understanding is the upgraded version of the B42, which was pretty popular a few years ago. I think especially with Canadian knife makers. Nope. Nope. Let's see if we can catch the top part of this. Oh, that cut a little bit better, right at the top. No, this, yeah, I mean the drop point actually seems pretty well on this, which is surprising because the other drop points haven't caught or haven't gotten into the grain as easy. Let's see. No. Not bad. Yeah, see the drop point's pretty sharp. Not that the rest of the part isn't sharp, but you don't know what the micro stuff in there really is. You know? Interesting. There's not much more of this catalog paper for me to work with. Let me see if there's any other straight pieces on the floor. Oh. Big blade, but pretty thick, and you don't really know, you know, what the measurement as far as here feels. It definitely still feels pretty thick right there. I don't know. Well, that's interesting. Once again, I don't know what the scientifics are behind one paper over another paper. I just, you know, but I wanted to give you two different examples and just see as far as slicing tests went on these. So pretty much how I would rank these is the best slicer is the Microtech, hands down. You know, cut through both papers totally easy. Second one is probably, I'm gonna have to go with the Nerk Tii, and I think what really helped it was how thin the blade was to begin with, and then how much thinner it gets here at the bottom. Now edge retention, I don't know how well this AUS-8 is gonna hold up, so it might be great for now, and then I could try cutting stuff in a couple weeks, and it might be a much different story. After that, I would probably have to go with the 0561. I think that actually did pretty well. I think it was just slightly better than the 0801. But, you know, then again, I have to review the video. This is just quickly going through it. But once again, you gotta remember this is less money than this too, and it's probably pretty comparable. I don't know if the blade length had to do when I was doing slicing grinds, just because I had more to work with. I kind of was taking it slower or steadier. It probably, when you look back at it, these are probably a tie, and then you just have to base it on what you like better and everything else. You know, obviously that you wouldn't just buy a knife just for cutting paper, but if that's what we're basing this comparison on, they're probably neck and neck. This one just felt a little bit easier cutting both papers. And more so I rank everything on how it handled the catalog paper, because the copy paper, everything seemed to cut pretty well. After that, I probably go with this R.J. Martin over the Boker, just because even when this did catch or bite into the paper instead of, you know, sliding through it, it still